And it's another fun day. Hey, thank you very much for tuning in today to another episode of Are You Listening? I'm your host, Matt Morgan. And I know I've been away for a little bit. I've been taking care of business, doing what I need to do. But don't you worry. Don't you worry. I have not forgot about you. I have not forgot about you. I've just, I've had my life busy with a lot of stuff, family stuff and responsibility stuff, stuff you need to take care of, because this here, as much as it is important to me being here for you and my message and my episodes and everything else, I do have other stuff that pays the bills that I need to take care of. And, I'd love to do this full time, but until I get out there, until I get recognized, until I get appreciated, it's not something I can pay the bills with. Unfortunately, the debts keep piling up. So I do need to take care of other stuff. But hey, I want to thank you very much for tuning in. Again, as I said, I'm your host, Mad Morgan. And hey, check out themadmorgan.com. We keep on doing some updates and changes and adding more stuff to it. But also, while you're over there, if you can spare a few bucks to keep us on the air, to get us out of this hole we've been digging, I appreciate that. I'm a family man. I got kids and everything else to take care of, like we all do. So, but if you can help us out, it'll keep us going longer. Appreciate that. So let's get into today's episode. And today, I think today what I want to do is I want to recognize, how can I say this? I want to recognize celebrities. I want to recognize famous people. I want to recognize, and I know it's like, why would you want to recognize these people? Don't they have enough recognition? Don't they have enough, money? Don't they have enough of the spotlight? I'm like, well, I want to applaud those people that actually are using their platform, using what they have, using what privilege they have to be able to make the world a better place. Like, they're actually getting out there and they're like, okay, hey, here's something that needs to be addressed in the world, and this is something you should pay attention to. You might be here for entertainment, but just so you know, here's something else you should be aware of. And I see this, there's a lot of late night shows and everything else. Maher's does it. There's a few of them. Who was that one guy? Let me just take a second. Let me just check this out here. I like him. He's the English dude. I know. If he's listening to this, it's like, the English dude, eh? I'm just the English dude. Okay, I see how it is. No, I like him, but it's like, well, if you liked him enough, why don't you know his name? You think I would, but I'm getting old. I'm getting on in years, so bear with me here. Let me just look this up. He's on my list. He's on my crave list. On my crave list. Where's my list? My cravings. There he is. Huh, maybe not on my list. Where was it? Hang on for 1 second. Some Prime Video. Categories, my stuff. It's got to be my stuff. Oh, wow. I am just batting a 0 today, folks. I am just batting a 0 today. I can't even find him. Wow. I'm bad at this. Okay. Anyways, I just want to take the time to actually applaud some of those celebrities that use their forum, use their popularity, use what they have to be able to bring awareness to stuff. I applaud them. I think it's awesome. The fact that you actually are not just after the paycheck, you're actually looking to be, hey, you know what? Maybe we should make this world a better place. Maybe we should make a difference. Maybe we should do something that actually, gets noticed and people can change, because little people like me, and to say it's one of those things. It's, you can't win them all, but it's little people like me don't get their message out until we get discovered, right? We don't get people to recognize us until we actually get our names out, right? And I don't know, let's see if I could find this for you. It's bugging me. I got to find this. Until we get our names out, just like everybody else, we don't get recognized. People don't hear the message, and it falls on deaf ears and gets lost in the millions of voices out there, people that are doing it for whatever reasons they want, versus whether or not it's the right reasons, right? But I want to do it because I want to get the message out. And like, people are like, well, why do you even bother? Because people aren't listening. Well, because the thing is that if you don't make the effort, you're not going to make the change, right? And if you can say, okay, well, why are you wasting your time? No one's tuning in and stuff like that. These big names people are listening to because they're in the forefront. Oh, yes. Last week tonight with John Oliver. Sorry, my apologies, John. I do apologize. I just had a brain fart on that one. I've been watching you for years. You're awesome. But I love people that actually have the forum to be able to speak their voice because they have the audience, because they actually have the name, because people recognize them, because they have all this stuff like that available to them and they're actually using it. And I applaud them for that. I think it's great. I see celebrities like Alyssa Milano. She has stuff that she talks about on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it now. I see a lot of other celebrities that are doing it as public service announcements not because they're profiting from it, because they actually have the forum, because they have the attention of the people, because they have eyes on them that they're looking at that and going, hey, we got to get a message out here for the next generation or even this generation to save this planet. And my advice to all the people out there is freaking listen. Seriously. If you're not going to listen to me, Joe Schmo, Mad Morgan, who you don't know from the hole of the ground unless you've been following me for a bit, these other celebrities. People listen to these other celebrities because of fear of FOMO for some reason. Everybody has this fear of FOMO. Well, not everybody. There's some of us that are standing on our own 2 feet without FOMO. We don't really care. But there's a lot of people that fear from FOMO. They don't want to be left out. They want to be accepted by everybody. They don't want to be the only one that is left out on this stuff like that. So, they have the paranoia of FOMO. Whatever, All I'm saying is that listen to these celebrities when they have a message. Listen to them. We got to change this world. And if you're in a position that you can actually have a voice, don't just be self-serving towards yourself. Use that voice positively and constructively to help influence the minds. Because the only way, folks, that we're going to get out of this situation in this world to make this world a better place is if we all start working together. I'm telling you, it's a domino effect. If you have a level of integrity, if you have a certain level of decency, if you do positive things, if you stop being so selfish and everything else and start being selfless and start thinking about everybody else. Remember, the world's not happening to you. You're happening to the world. Your influence is what's affecting the world. Your contribution, no matter how small it is contributing to the world. Yes, all the crap you see out there that you don't like is to blame on you as well. Not just only on you, but you as well. Listen to that. The world's not happening to you. You are happening to the world. There's no magic miracle that's going to make things miraculously change. The purchase you want to make is not going to make a change. It's just giving into consumerism. That event you want to go to is not going to magically change stuff. Okay? You have to put in the work and we all have to get on board. And it's funny because when we're growing up, it's very, very textbook, I find, when people growing up, depending on their influences. But even the best of kids growing up have a tendency to want to rebel and go against the rules or whatever the case may be. But hopefully we get to the point where we grow out of this. Case in point, I'll give you an example. My teenage daughter figured she'd pull a fast one and actually break a house rule, having a boy in her room because we went out and they were just friends. And I'm like, I knew something was up. And, I have the sixth sense of me and everything else. And I was like, something's up. Something's up. And she's a strong-willed young lady because she takes after her mom. And I'm like, I knew something was up. I freaking knew it. And I bet she was the one, she was the instigator because she figured she can get away with it. She's unsupervised. We trusted in her, but she figured, no one's watching. I can get away with this. I can break the rules. And then in a second level of defiance, she decides the next day to actually get in the car with a bunch of teenage driver who's very inexperienced. And she figured, I guess on the philosophy, it's better to ask for forgiveness than ask for permission. But I'm hoping that she had a realization that after she did these two stupid things that were completely blatant slap in her face to our rules and a lack of respect for her mom and I, is that, wow, nothing magical happened about it. It was just what it was. I'm hoping she come to that realization. And the reason I bring up this example is because I'm hoping that other people come to the realization in their existences and their worlds to realize that there's going to be no magic poof that's going to happen just because you do whatever you're going to do. You think that if you break the rules, if you break the law, if you do something you're not supposed to, that it's going to magically open up some Narnia type world that's just magical and amazing and everything else, and all your dreams are going to come true. No, we have rules in society for a reason. We do, in order to keep it civil. Keep a set of rules and guidance so people do the right thing. Because it's not just you, it's everybody. As I said, you're affecting the world. The world's not affecting you. You have to look at that. So everybody's affecting each other. It's not the world's coming down on the individual. It's coming down. Everybody's affecting everybody else. So when I see people that are actually in a position of privilege, back to, of course, the original thing here, I applaud them. The fact is they already have that cushy little seat on their pedestal because they're privileged enough to be in their audience. And not saying that they aren't rule breakers themselves, but they're using their fortune and their good luck and everything else and then where they've got to actually make a change. But, it's not just those celebrities and those people that are in those positions that can make a change. Even you, the Joe Schmo that works at Starbucks or whatever, doesn't matter how meaningful you feel your job is, or how important you feel your job is, you can still make a change. You can still use your voice to right wrongs in this world. If you see somebody doing wrong, maybe they're just ignorant or arrogant, okay, and they don't know any better. And it's very difficult, I know, to put yourself out there because a lot of people just like to avoid confrontation. Yes, it's a lot easier with the celebrities and, all these people that are in the spotlight that actually have that limelight on them and everything else to be able to speak their minds on stuff because they have security and whatnot. But the average Joe Schmo doesn't. And if you say something to the wrong person, they might get violent towards you. That's a topic for another story. Frankly, I think all those violent, irrational people should be put into a deep hole somewhere. Oh, I know. Before you start jumping down my throat, what about integrity and doing the right thing? Well, there's enough negativity in this world that I'm pretty sure if we made the right decision to get rid of the wrong in order for the right to happen, that probably wouldn't be a bad idea. But that's a topic for another show. My focus on this is, hey, you could be a celebrity in your own right. You could be famous in your own right for the right reasons, but you could actually have your voice, like I'm having my voice, putting this on, putting in the work and everything else to make these episodes. It's not just throw a microphone on and record and boom, away you go. No. There's a whole process in this, but I don't have a team behind me. Okay, I'm doing the recording, I'm doing the editing, I'm smoothing things over, I'm adding soundtracks, I'm adding this, I'm adding that, and that's just something that's all coming out of my pocket. Yeah, I don't have the budget that celebrities do, but I'm still here making a difference. And I'll tell you, it's one of the best quotes that I've actually always lived by is that if you don't think we can change the world, you're one that won't, or something along those lines, right? If you don't think you can change the world, you're one of those that will not change the world. So if you keep thinking that you cannot do something, you will fail in the fact that you will not ever do that. You won't be the one that will change the world if you keep thinking you won't, that you can't. But even the smallest snowball could turn into a boulder, okay? That's what you got to remember. One voice makes a difference. It does tend to echo. It's like a ripple in a pond. It starts off small and basically gets bigger. And you can make that change. I'm a strong believer in that one voice can actually be a louder voice in time. It just needs to pick up momentum. It needs to get out there. It needs to keep moving, okay? And there's a lot of voices out there that need to be heard. There are those that actually their voice is heard very regularly, and they're the famous and celebrities and everything else. But even the little people's voices need to be heard, okay? The persons that are struggling each day trying to put food on the table and keep a roof over their head, people like this need to be heard as well. They want a better world as well. This world's getting a lot tougher. It really is. And if we don't see enough change ramped up in the next 5 years, we're on a very slippery slope going downhill, and it's going to be to our own demise. And then the end of it all, because people don't want to listen and they don't want to change their ways because it's inconvenient or it just doesn't suit their lifestyle or whatever bullshit they want to say, it won't matter in the end. We're going to have the same effect if nothing is done. And all those people thinking that they're all blah, 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 blah. Okay, great. But the world's coming to an end because you decided to be selfish and you decided not to do anything because you couldn't even take those small steps in order to make the world a better place. And no matter how much money you have and everything else, is not going to make a freaking difference. Because if you're one of the ones that has a lot of things, then you got something to lose. The people that got nothing to lose, they're coming after your ass. So as much as you think that you're protected with your guns and your doors and your walls and, all this stuff, that's not going to make a difference in the end. The only way you're going to make a difference is make a difference now and change your ways. Environmental needs to be attacked and tackled sooner versus later. We also need to look at civilities, how civil we are with each other. Because of COVID, everybody's angry now. That's the wrong effect, folks. We should be more compassionate and more empathetic. But for some reason, studies have shown that people have become irrational idiots because of COVID. Oh, wow, you had to be locked up and you lost some freedoms, but you made the world a better place. People actually cooperated. So that means you come out of your caves and you start acting like an asshole, even a bigger asshole than some of you went in. Because some of you were big assholes, let me tell you. And there's nothing to be proud of. But what I'm noticing, and back, of course, the original argument is that I'm glad that there's an uptick about facts that they are actually recognizing the whole, what changes have been happening and actually calling people out on it. Again, back to the celebrities. I'm glad the celebrities are doing it. I'm glad the celebrities are speaking out saying, hey, what's going on here? Did you know this is going on? Did you realize this is going on? I'm just curious if you did. And maybe you should do something about it because you're acting like a complete douchebag. That's what I love about some of the celebrities that actually do that. They do put themselves out there because they have the forum to do so. I applaud you. I do. I applaud you for those of you that do it. I really do. I think it's great. The Johns and the Bills of the world, just as two examples. But I also see other forum posts. I see Twitters. I see a bunch of other celebrities. Now, who is that one guy, the one idiot who I really don't like, though? Oh, he's just a greaseball freaking guy on YouTube. I'm trying to remember what his name was. He's really, really bizarre. I really had to bother with him because he actually supported the Freedom rally that happened a couple of years ago in Ottawa, Canada. Also, he supported some of the stuff that was going on in the States with the Capitol Hill stuff. Oh, man. See, Russell Brand. Yeah, that was it. That douchebag. Now, there's an example of a bad celebrity, somebody that actually has a forum and popularity and actually has a voice that people are listening to. And he tries to get his own cult going, right? His own cult. Spreading misinformation based on his viewpoints. Unfortunately, that's the problem is that people have a tendency to listen and support those people that for some reason share their own views, or they've drank the Kool-Aid and been sold on the idea. Now, celebrities that force feed you to believe a certain thing, like Russell Brand, I don't believe in those people. Don't force your views down my throat. Don't try to convince me that you're right. Give me the knowledge and information, and that's a different story, right? And that was the biggest thing when it comes to Russell Brand, which I really was bothered by, is that he didn't say anything about, let me say it. Didn't give anything with regards to facts. Basically, it was just like, hey, this is how it is, and it's the truth type thing. And that bugs me. This is when you should not listen to celebrities. Listen to celebrities that give you, here are the details, here are the facts, here's what's been proven. Kind of like make up your own mind. If you can't see the writing on the wall, that's on you. That's not on me. Those are the celebrities that you should listen to. Ones that let you objectively make up your own mind based on the facts that's being presented, but not, hey, this is the way it is and you should support this and blah, 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 blah. No, that's not how it should be done. Like when I give you my views in all my shows, I basically just tell you from observation that myself and other people have seen, or I give you information in which I've researched and looked into from accurate sources. And even that, at that point, I don't tell you, you should believe in this. This is the truth. I'm going to let you decide. And if you disagree with me, you disagree with me. You have that right, and I give you the forum to be able to do so. By all means, do it. I'm not going to, tell you any other way. You got to decide for yourself what makes sense to you. But listen to the message and act on certain things when they make sense. Like, we have to change the way we treat each other. We got to treat each other better. We have to change the way that we treat the environment. We can't keep doing this the way we've been doing it. It's absolutely stupid that we decide to do things a certain way. Why would you do things a certain way if you know that they're bad? Because you're lazy? Because it's not beneficial for you? Like, this is the biggest thing I don't understand. Don't break those rules. Those laws are there for a reason. If you don't follow what needs to be done, that we all pay for it in the end. Whether it's something like petty crime, upwards to more offensive things like ripping off millions of people or murder or anything along those lines. Okay? Be accountable to your actions. And if you see somebody that relays a message to you, listen. I know there's a lot of people that don't like listening to podcasts, and a lot of people don't like watching videos. They're stuck and cemented in their own ideas, and they believe that's the way the world works and that's the way it should be, and they don't care about any other logical information. They're ignorant and arrogant at the same time. But I can only do my part. I can only do what I can. I can prepare my shows for you. I can spread my message. I can try to get you to think for yourself and actually make the world a better place. And I'm doing my contribution to make the world a place. You should too. All right. I'm going to wrap this up. Hey, I'm your host, Mad Morgan. Please check out themadmorgan.com. Please, themadmorgan.com. We're adding more to it on a regular basis. Thank you for tuning in for this episode of Are You Listening? We also have other podcasts, which you can check out on the websites. Other than that, keep your integrity in check. Be good to yourself and be good to each other. And I'll talk to you when I see you next time. All right. Until then, take care and see you next episode.